Hey everybody, welcome back to the War Boss Bitch channel. Today we're going to go back to the Age of Fantasy and talk about Volcanic Dwarves. Remember, if you like the video, to hit the little button down there in the bottom and subscribe for more OPR reviews. So as we go over this army, I'm going to bring up some models from a couple different companies because nobody has all of these models. Games Workshop has some, Mantic have others. I've even had to pull some stuff in here from Epic Games because nobody has shirtless dwarves throwing axes. Even the models that I got for the army that I'm putting on the board, it is a mix of all different creators. So keep that in mind if you want to play Volcanic Dwarves. This is an army you're going to need to pull from multiple sources. There's nothing wrong with that. Most of the time, that's half the fun of putting together a model agnostic army. They don't even have to be dwarves. It's whatever you think looks coolest. So let's go ahead and hop right into the rules. So these are all the special rules that come with the army. Let's hit a couple of key points here. Slayer. This model's melee weapon get AP +2 against units where most models have toughness 3 or higher. Your little angry boys are an extension of the Slayers from the normal Dwarf army, so of course you're going to have this rule. It allows your unit to punch far above its weight. And the only one that affects multiple units at once is Ethereal. Counts as having Stealth and Strider, and when taking a wound, roll 1 die, and on a 6+, it is ignored. That's going to be for all of your different elementals in the army. Let's go ahead and move down to the spells. So here's the spell list. We don't talk about the offensive spells, they just do what they say. Let's talk about the buffs and debuffs. Auric Fury for 1. Target 2 friendly units within 12. They move +1 next time they advance, or +2 next time they rush and charge. Now in an army of dwarfs, everything that you have is going to start off slow if it's on foot. So this, combined with a couple more movement buffs that you can get inside the army, you can get some pretty fast slayers. Seismic Shift 2. Target 2 friendly units within 12. They get flying next time they move. Along the same lines, this is going to help you out ignoring difficult terrain and ignoring enemy units to move right over top of them. Any extra mobility is good with these guys. And the last debuff here is Searing Heat for 3. Target 2 enemy units within 18. They get -2 to hit rolls next time they fight in melee. This could be very good for your army because a lot of your dwarves, well, I mean, let's face it, they're naked. Their defense is just not great. And a good way to mitigate damage coming into them is not only different defense buffs, but stopping the enemy from hitting you in the first place. That's always a good way to stop it. So let's go ahead and get into the army units. Now there's not that many units in this army, so let's pop right into the first one, who is going to be the Magma Champion. Quality 3, Defense 5, Fearless, Furious, Hero, Slow, and Toughness 3. Now we'll go over the rules as we see them. Fearless means whenever you fail a morale test, you get to roll another dice, and on a 4+, it counts as pass, giving you a morale test pretty much do-over. Furious means whenever you roll a 6 to hit in melee when you charge, you get an extra hit. This is what we like to call exploding 6s. Hero means that it can be attached into a unit as long as its toughness doesn't go over 6. Slow means it moves -2 inches when using advance and -4 inches when using rush and charge. So instead of the normal 6 inches and 12 inches like a normal unit, slow means you're going to be going 4 inches and 8 inches. In toughness 3, that's how much damage this model is going to take before it goes down. So the Magma Champion comes with a heavy hand weapon for 3 attacks at AP 1. And now this first upgrade box, these are going to be upgrades that you can put on this model that will affect a unit that it is put inside. This is like a general buff for this character. First one we have is Smite Forger for Ancient Icon. Enemies get -1 to hit in melee when attacking this model and its unit. And with a defense of only 5, this is a good choice. Auric Lord for Volcanic Leader. This model and its unit gets ambush, meaning that you can leave it off of the board, and then on turn 2, you can deploy it outside of 9 inches from the enemy, anywhere on the board. Army Standard Bearer, giving fear of 3, meaning that this unit counts as doing 3 extra wounds in close combat to test to see who won the melee. Runesmith for Caster 2, which gives you access to the spell list. And Grim Lord for Oath of Wrath, giving this model and its unit AP +1 in melee. You can replace the heavy hand weapon with a dual heavy hand weapons, heavy great axe or a heavy great weapon. You can upgrade the character with a throwing axe for 2 attacks at 12 inches at AP 1, or a Beast Slayer Javelin, 1 attack, AP 2, Deadly 3 at 12 inches. And you can upgrade it with a mount, and the only option is a Magma Drake, giving it defense of 2, putting it to defense of 3+, Magma Claw for 6 rending attacks, Stomp for 4 AP 1 attacks, a Breath attack, and what that is once per activation on a 2+, one enemy unit within 6 in line of sight takes 1 hit with blast of 3 and AP 1. Breath attack is what it says on the tin. It is a flame attack from your dragon. It's breathing fire. Fear of 2. Regeneration, giving the model a 5+ extra layer of defense. Swift, which means it ignores the slow rule, so instead of 4-8, it's back up to moving 6 and 12. And toughness +12, making it toughness 15. Now we'll see later on, there are Magma Drakes you could take on their own, but it's not going to be as tough and not have the quality that you would get if you give the Magma Drake to this character. So here it gets 10 attacks, 6 rending, and 4 from the Stomp. And then the rest of the attacks is going to be whatever you put on the character. I like to do either Heavy Great Axe for the AP 3 or Dual Heavy Weapon to bump it up to 8 AP 1 and 6 rending attacks. And for running around on its own, these upgrades up here, as much as I would love to do Volcanic Leader to give you an ambushing dragon, I think that's hilarious. Probably the best thing to do here would be either Caster 2 to give you access to the spells, because you're going to be fast, you're going to be moving around and have the most kind of mobility to determine where your offensive spells are going to go. Or Oath of Wrath if you just want to be a melee monster, giving you 8 AP 2 and then 6 AP 1 rending attacks. Next unit is the Volcanic Leader. Quality 4, defense 5, fearless, furious, hero, slow, and toughness 3. Comes with a hand weapon with 3 attacks. And for the upgrades here in this box, they're a little bit different. We still have Oath of Wrath and Caster 2, but also Veteran Seeker, giving this model Doom Call, which means you and your unit can ignore the slow rule. And what I would suggest right away is go ahead and put on that Doom Call. 55 points. Ignoring the slow rule on your models is going to be a game changer as far as what your Dwarves can do. You can replace the hand weapon with dual hand weapons, a halberd, great axe, or great weapon, and you can upgrade it with a throwing axe. Now, for whatever weapon you want to put with it, you're going to want to synergize that to the squad that you're going to be taking it with. Like Berserkers do dual hand weapons, Shield Berserkers stick with a regular weapon, Berserker Guard go for the great weapon. Just synergize it within the squad. But the real reason you're taking it is because of that Doom Call. Let's go ahead and look at some of those multi-model units, starting off with Shields Berserkers. Quality 4, defense 4, fearless, furious, and slow. 1 attack apiece with hand weapons. You can replace the hand weapons with the halberd to give them rending, and you can upgrade up to 3 models with this box here, which I like to call the command upgrades. Sergeant gives 1 model +1 to hit. Musician, this model and its unit get +1 inches of movement, and a banner which gives you +1 whenever you have to roll a morale test. Now, Shield Berserkers, they are pretty cheap at 85, and they come in a squad of 10. Defense is 5, so this is going to be a kind of a glass cannon-ish squad. What I like to do with it is take the squad, put a volcanic leader in it, and do either Doom Call to get these moving faster, or if you take the squad and you double it by combining the unit, then Oath of Wrath, giving you 20 attacks at AP1 on top of whatever the volcanic leader you're going to arm him with, is pretty good. You're only at 235 for 21 models, covers a lot of real estate on the board. It'd be a pretty good choice. Next unit is the Volcanic Berserkers. These are what you think of when you think of Slayers. Quality 4, Defense 5, Fearless, Furious, Slayer, and Slow. Dual hand weapons for 2 attacks, and the only upgrades they can take is the command upgrades. So I will just lay it out right now. Combine that squad, put on a Volcanic leader with Doom Call. You want these in combat as much as possible. You max out at 10 of them, it's still 20 attacks. It's going to be AP2 whenever you fight tough units. No brainer. The squad broadcasts what they are made to do. Next unit is the Berserker Guards. Quality 3, Defense 5, Fearless, Furious, Regeneration, and Slow. They come with great weapons for 1 attack at AP2. Now with Defense 5 plus Regeneration, these are your tankier Naked Dwarfs. They come with great weapons, so they already have the AP2 that you would get from the Slayers, but they have half the number of attacks. With a quality 3, they're going to be pretty good in combat. Same thing as before, Doom Call on the squad, taking away that slow, excellent choice. Next unit is the Berserker Throwers. Quality 4, Defense 5, Fearless, Furious, and Slow. Throwing axes for 1 attack, AP1 at 12 inches, and 1 attack with hand weapons, and the only upgrades they can take are the command upgrades. So if you want a unit that's moving up with the rest of your melee fighters to give them some cover, in case the enemy has some shooters that are sitting a little bit further back, they got kind of a half of a screen up there, or you want your Berserkers to go somewhere else, Berserker Throwers, right next to your frontline units, great option. As far as character go with them, again, the Volcanic Leader with Doom Call is not a bad choice. Oath of Wrath, it would be amazing if you could put that on your throwing weapons, but you can't. It's just your melee weapons. A Runesmith with Caster 2. If you want a caster in the army, this is a good place to put them. You could use your Seismic Shift on some Berserker squads, get them flying if they already have Doom Call and maybe a Musician. 13 inches of flying, they can get to some weird spots. And on top of that, you can hit them with Seismic Shift and Auric Fury to give them plus 2 extra inches. 15-inch flying Berserkers, the stuff of nightmares. Next unit are the Auric Marksmen. Quality 3, Defense 5, Fearless, Furious, and Slow. 1 attack with hand weapons, and they come with magma shooters. 1 shot at 18 inches with rending. You can replace the magma shooters with lava shooters for 2 shots at 12 inches with rending. And you can replace 1 magma shooter with a magma bolt shooter. 1 shot AP2 deadly 3 at 18. So if you want a more defensive squad to hold an objective close to your deployment zone, or one that is in your deployment zone, I'd stick with the magma shooters. If not, you want to be complete full court press, I would go with the lava shooters. 2 shots at 12 with rending. Take 10 of them. You're looking at 20 shots, hitting on 3. That's going to do a lot of good for you. Now, if you go for the 12-inch shooting, that's where I would put on a leader with Doom Call, making sure the squad can move forward to make sure stuff is in range to shoot every turn. But of course, if you don't want to get the character in there, that's where I would go with the magma shooter for the longer range. Then the last multi-model unit is Fire Elementals. Quality 4, Defense 4, Furious, Ethereal, and Toughness 3. They have 3 attacks apiece with rending. And there's no upgrades, you get what you get. I do wish there was some options for this squad, like to switch out the fire strikes for like an AP 1 or 2 weapon. Maybe make them a little better, giving them a quality 3 or a defense 3 option. But at 185 points for 3 of them, They don't have the slow rule, so they're going, normal speed of the 612. It's cheap enough to throw 1, 2, or put a combined squad in there. It won't break the bank. It's not terrible in combat, and if you aim them at something that has regeneration, the rending removes it. Now we're down to the vehicles and monsters. The first one is the Volcanic Lizard. Quality 4, defense 3, fear of 1, fearless, strider, and toughness 6. Strider means they ignore difficult terrain. 3 attacks, AP 1 in close combat, and then they spit fire for 2 shots, blast 3, and reliable. Reliable means you're going to hit on a 2. Blast 3 means that if there are that many models in the squad, at least 3, they're going to need to make 3 defense rolls per hit. 145 points. Pretty decent choice for the army. Something to move forward. It's going to be tougher than your normal squads. You can park this on an objective, be an anchor point for your line that's pushing forward, and blasting at stuff that's causing you problems. Next unit is the Great Fire Elemental. Quality 4, defense 3, fear of 1, furious, ethereal, and toughness 6. 6 attacks with rending. And that's it. 155 points. This is going to be a fire and forget type of model. Pointed at the enemy, let it go nuts. Don't expect miracles out of it. It should last a turn or 2 in combat, drawing the enemy's attention and allowing you to get your berserkers, your slayers, and your guard all up in there. And then the last unit in the army is the Magma Drake. Quality 4, defense 3, breath attack, fear of 2, regeneration, and toughness 12. 6 attacks with rending from its magma claw, and 4 attacks AP 1 from stomp. The unit has no upgrades. Again, it's another you get what you get. And it's the same one we went over with the Magma Champion. It's just that instead of the Champion's quality 3, this one's at quality 4. Magma Drake's 285. If you put them on the Champion, it's 395. So relatively cheap as far as monsters go. 12 toughness, defense 3. That'll last a minute. But offensively, not all that impressive. It does get to use its breath attack the same turn that it charges. Just has to use the breath attack first, and you can fire it at a separate target. And I think the models are pretty damn impressive looking. So that is every unit in the Volcanic Dwarves army. Like I said previously, there is not really that much to this army. Very one-dimensional, angry dwarfs running forward to chop stuff up with hand weapons while being supported by fire-breathing dragons, and the lumps of magma come to life. So now what is going to happen is I have made a 2,000 point army of Volcanic Dwarves, and we are going to go out to the garage and see how they perform. And now I get to do my fancy fade effect, and I will catch you out there. Welcome back to the garage, everybody. This is what we are taking to the field today for the Volcanic Dwarves. We got a 2,000 point list here, starting off with the Magma Dragon. The hero that is going to be on the Magma Dragon, this is actually the hero version of it, and he is going to have a caster 2. We have a leader with 10 berserkers over here. The leader has Doom Call, so ignores the slow rule. We have another leader in this squad over here of Berserk Guards, again with Doom Call to ignore the slow rule. And these 2 sticks, I designed and printed the army forgetting what the actual upgrades do. So consider those musicians. They're going to get +1 inches of movement because of those sticks. Then we have 6 fire elementals over here with these magma spiders. 2 volcanic lizards back there blowing the fire. Those came out of the Alien Hive's army, but I mean, they are lizards. Dinosaur dog things. So they work. And then we have 2 greater fire elementals. Let's check out who they're playing against. Today they are going to be fighting the Dark Elves, the same one that we had 2 weeks ago. We got 3 squads of 10 Dark Warriors, 3 squads of 10 Dark Shooters, a champion with 10 Executioners, and then 2 Hydras in the back. Let's check out the board. Here's the board today. We got a couple of hills, we got a couple of mountains, we got a couple of passes. There's not really going to be any forests on the board because we figured they would just light up immediately. And so we are going to have Uncle C, who's going to be playing the Dark Elves, roll for a number of objectives, or the Zombie King. We're going to have 4. No, we're going to have 3, D3 plus 2. So here we go. We got 1, 2, 3 right up the middle. Now we get to roll to see who sets up and goes first. I had to reach over for the dice. Ooh, Dwarves got a 6, and so do the Elves. Okay, so Dwarves with a 2, Elves with a 6. So it's going to be Elves first. So for the Dwarf deployment here, we have a Fire Lizard, Greater Elemental, the Guards, Magma Dragon, Greater Elemental, Berserkers, Fire Elemental Squad, and Flame Dragon. And across from them, the Dark Elves have Warriors, Shooters, Hydra. Shooters all the way up there. Hydra, Warriors, Executioners, Warriors, Shooters. Let's see what kind of craziness is going to happen on turn number 1. First activation for the Dark Elves. We got some Warriors moving forward. We'll try to grab that objective. Over on this side, this Greater Elemental is going to go as fast as he can up towards that objective. The squad of shooters are going to move forward a little bit and then open fire on the Elemental. Over 9 inches away, so that means that the Elemental gets stealth because of Ethereal. So it's stealth, hitting on a 5. So we end up with 3 hits. One of those is rending. 2 saves on a 3. Fail 1, and rending on a 6. Fail, so it takes 2. So this little duder goes down to 4. Next activation is going to be the squad of Fire Elementals. They are going to come over here and put their little spidey toes on that objective marker. Like that. This unit of shooters over here is going to fire at those Fire Elementals, but again, they're going to get stealth because they are Elementals. 20 shots, hitting on a 5. So we got 6 hits, 4 of them are rending this time. Saving on a 4, the 2 regulars. 1 save. And then 4 6s. 2 more. So, bloop. 1 elemental goes down. Next activation, Greater Elemental over here, because of Strider from Elemental, is just going to thud right there. Let's see if we can get some shooting.
I'm getting within that 9 inches first over this elemental pool.
All right, is that 9? Yep, okay, they're inside of 9. Now they hit on a 4. 8 hits, only one of them is rending. 1 rending on a 6. Fails. And the rest on a 3. For 2 more. Taking it down to half, time for a morale test, which it is going to fail, but no, it's not fearless. Everything else is. Crap. Putting him down to 3 and stunned. This activation, this Fire Lizard's going to move forward and put himself right there, which is just in range to burninates that squad. 2 shots, reliable. Still missed 1. Blast 3, so 3 saves. He's going to lose 2. Boom, boom. Got the Hydra moving forward. Next, we're going to have the second Fire Lizard. It does have Strider, so I can just go 6, bloop, right up there. But I don't think anything. Well, the Hydra's in ready. Just go ahead and just throw some fire at the Hydra.
2 shots with reliable on a 2, so it's just 2 hits. It's blast, but it doesn't matter. It's only a single entity, but it takes 2 wounds with regeneration. Yeah, it takes 2. Putting the big melee face down to 10. Next, we got a unit of warriors moving forward. Next activate is the Berserker Guards. Remember, because of the stick here, they got extra inch of movement, and then with Doomcaller, they go, well, they ignore the slow rules. So they go all the way out to here. Like that. We got the Hydra coming up. Next activation for the Dwarfs. We're going to do the same thing with this squad. Well, this is the Berserker Guards. Over there, that was just the Berserkers. So these guys, 13 inches straight forward to right there. Unit Executioners, they are going to move to there. Last thing to activate for the Volcanic Dwarves is the Magma Dragon. It's just going to caw over all of this and land there. So once he lands, we are going to do a breath attack on this squad and then are going to cast Firestorm on that squad there. So let's start off with that breath attack on a 2+. It goes off. 3 saves on a 6. There goes 3. And then Firestorm is 2 points. We only got 2 points to put into it, so looking for a 4. It goes off. 8 hits, saving on a 4. And they're going to lose 4. So there is the pile of dead going away. The Magma Dragon did not do too bad. Last activation for turn number 1, we got the Warriors over there moving forward. So at the end of turn number 1, the Volcanic Dwarves are doing a huge push into the middle of the board. Let's see if the Dark Elves are going to be able to catch this and throw them back. Unable to control themselves, and they're having such a nice target right there. First activation of turn number 2, the Berserkers are going to slam into the Hydra. So we got a bunch of attacks. They're all going to be hitting on a 4. They're all going to be AP2 because that Hydra is a tough target, and they're furious. Roar! Not a single 6. Not a single 6 with the Berserkers, but the Lord, or the leader, got 1 extra hit. He does not have the AP2. So the blacks need a 3, the whites need a 5. So we got 5 wounds that go through, but he's got regeneration. He saves 2, so he takes 3 wounds, but with Hydra heads, he gets 2 extra attacks. So the 2 extra attacks goes to 12 attacks, hitting on a 4. For 5 hits, saving on a 5. So they lose 2. With a Hydra Spear of 2, the Hydra won combat, so morale test for the Short Kings on a 4. And they pass. So we lose 2, and then back up an inch. Executioners are going to go in on the Magma Dragon. Time for the Executioners to fight. They all hit on 2s. The white are the Executioners, the black is the hero. For that many hits. So the blacks are going to be saving on a 3, and the whites going to be saving on a 6. 1 whole save. And then the dragon has regeneration. On a 5. For 1. So the dragon's going to take 6. So the dragon attacking back, these are going to be the rending hits on a 3. Got 3 there. AP1 attacks on a 3. We got 3 there. And then his 1 big AP4 attack, that's going to miss. Those 3 saves were on a 4, so he loses 2 there. And then the rest on a 5. He loses 3 more for a total of 5. Dragon has a fear of 2, so the dragon wins combat. He fails his morale test. Do you have fearless?
Nope.
With no fearless. So those executioners are going to flee the field. And the Magma Dragon is going to be... Ooh, if I get the dice over here. It's going to be down to 9. So over on this flank, we're going to have our little fire elementals go whee and charge into the Hydra. So we got 5 elementals left. That's going to be 3 attacks apiece with Rending, 15 attacks hitting on a 4 with Furious. So we got 2 Rending hits, and those mean 2 extras because they are Furious. 2 Rending hits. That's going to be 2 fails. No regeneration on... Well, there's no regeneration on this because of the Rending. And then the rest on a 3. It's going to take 2 more. 10 attacks back. For 5 hits. AP 1, so saving on a 5. They're going to take 3. So the Hydrosphere of 2, the Elementals lost combat, and they're going to pass. So the big guy goes down to 6, and 1. A Fire Elemental goes down, and they move back an inch. Next activation, that squad of shooters is going to fire down to the Magma Dragon. 20 shots. 10 hits, 2 of those are going to be Rending. So the 2 Rending on a 6 fails, and the rest on a 3. For 3 more. Taking him below half, needs a morale test. 3 up, which he fails, but he is fearless. He's good. Taking him down to 4 wounds. Probably time to use him. So now the dragon's going to do all kinds of weird stuff. He is going to take off flying, and he is going to charge into this squad up here. Well, you know, we'll put him up there just because. Then what he is going to do, remember he's supposed to be about here. He's going to use Flame Breath here, and then Firestorm on the Hydra. Starting off with Flame Breath on a 2. That's going to fail. Firestorm on a 4. It goes off. 8 hits on the Hydra, saving on a 3. Is going to take 3, but he can regenerate against these. He takes 2, but regenerates 1, meaning he's going to get 1 more extra attack when it comes to fighting. Then on a 6, we have the Rending attacks. We got 1 hit, which turns into 2. Saving on a 6. There's 2 dead crossbows. AP 4 attacks. 1 hit that turns into 2. Saving on a 6 because the AP 1, so there's 1 more dead crossbow. And then finally the big attack at AP 4, that's going to miss. 7 attacks from the crossbowman. 3 hits. Saving on a 3. Save 2. Regeneration. Fail. Crossbow needs morale test. And they're going to fail. So all the way up here, big guy goes down to 3. Crossbows are stunned. And then we've already marked the Hydra over there. Hydra buddy is going to charge into the Berserker Guard. 13 attacks hitting on a 6 with Furious. He's got 2 that turns into 4. Saving on a 6 because they are AP 1. Failed all 4. But the Berserk Guard have regeneration. So I lose 3. So the Berserk Guard, they hit on a 3. The leader with them hits on a 4. So I got 3 hits at AP 2, 1 hit at AP nothing. White Steve 5s, Black Deeds a 3. So he takes 1 wound, which he can regenerate. And he does, giving him an extra attack. Morale test for the Berserker Guard. They're going to pass. Next activation, we're going to take this Flame Lizard here, move it up 6, and then it is going to fire at those warriors back there. So we got 2 shots on a 2. 1 hit. Save it on a 5. They're going to lose 2. Morale test. They're going to fail. So there goes 2 and stunned. So that section of the board over there, those shooters are going to move to there and then fire at the Magma Dragon, or where he's supposed to be down there on that path. 20 shots on a 4. And there's that Dark Elf shooting. 10 hits. 5 Rending. Let's just go for the 6s. That's going to be enough. No, my boy. Smash. Over here, this greater elemental is going to slam in. Boom! There, with his whole 4 wounds left. 6 attacks on a 4. 1 hit, but at least it's furious. One of those is going to be on a 6 because it's rending. And the other one on a 5. So they only take 1. 9 attacks back. 6 hits. Saving on a 3. He loses 2. He's down to 2 left. And then the Ethereal has a fear of 1, so he took 2, they took 1. With his fear of 1, everything is tied. So after some measuring, that Hydra is going to be able to go up there and fight the Fire Lizard. 10 attacks on a 6. For nothing. The Volcanic Lizard hits on a 4. For 2 hits, saving on a 4. 2 fail, but regen. For 2. Morale test for the Hydra, because his fear of 2, and then the Volcanic Lizard has a fear of 1, meaning the Volcanic Lizard 1, and the Hydra passes. Putting the Hydra down to 7, and he backs up an inch. Whoosh. So here in the center, the Dwarf Berserk guards are going to push right back into the Hydra. So white dice are the guards, black dice is the leader. Everybody hits on a 6 because everyone is fatigued. For nothing. The Hydra is now up to 14 attacks, hitting on a 6 because it is fatigued as well. It's got 4 hits. Saving on a 6. 1 save. Regeneration. So I only lose 1 Dwarf. Then morale test on a 3. They're going to pass. Pew! Those Dark Elf shooters back there, they're going to move forward 6, and then they are going to fire at the Flame Lizard. 20 shots on a 4. 6 hits, 2 of those are going to be rending. So the regulars, we're going to save on a 3. He fails 3. And then the 2 rending, fails those. He's down to 1 wound left. Morale test. He's going to fail, but the Volcanic Lizard is fearless. He's going to pass. It's down to 1 wound left. Next, we're going to activate the Flame Lizard. He's going to move forward 6 inches. And then flame right back into those shooters that just turn him into a pincushion. 2 shots hitting on a 2. It's still 1 hit. Oh, these reliable weapons. They're 50% hit rate for me. Just saving on a 5. Kills 2. Next activation, the warriors are going to charge into the flame elementals. 10 attacks on a 4. For 3 hits. Saving on a 4. They take 2. There's something I just looked up that I've been forgetting the whole game. They have a 6-up. Ignore the wound for being ethereal. They still take 2. Their attacks back. They are fatigued, so we're looking for a 6. 1 hit. Saving on a 6. They pass. Morale test for the elementals. They're good. Knocking this guy here down to 1. Last activation for the Volcanic Dwarves. We are going to unpin that elemental. So over here, the Dark Elves, they are going to recover this squad. And then over here for their last activation, that squad's going to charge in there. 9 attacks on a 4. For 4 hits. Saving on a 3. Fails 1. With his 6-up regeneration, he still takes it. 6 attacks from the elemental. 1 hit. And he saves. Once again, 1-0, but the ethereal does have fear of 1, so it is a tie. Turn number 2 is done, and the Volcanic Dwarves are falling prey to the Dark Elves. Just overall good balance of an army. Those shooters are really giving them hell. Let's see what happens on turn number 3. First activation of the turn. Again, we are going to use our Berserkers to launch ourselves into the back of the Hydra. Everybody's hitting on a 4 with Furious. Oh, here we go. So we have 10 hits, 1 AP nothing, and 3 AP2 extra hits from Furious. So the blacks need 3s, the whites need 5s. For a total of 8 wounds that went through with regeneration. So 3 of those are saved. It takes 5, which means it is down to 1, but it gets 3 extra attacks on the attack back, which is 17. Jesus. Putting the Hydra at an impressive 17 attacks back on a 4. For 8 hits. Saving on a 6. We saved 2. 6 of them go down. With the Hydra's fear, it wins combat. The Dwarves fail the morale test, but they are fearless. 6 go down, means we're down to 3 Slayers left. He's got 1 wound left, so he's going to push forward into those Berserker Guard. 17 attacks, looking for a 6. He has Furious, so with that, he's going to get 4. Saving on a 6. They're going to fail all 4. With regeneration, they're going to fail 3. So we got 3 guard and the hero left. The whites are hitting on a 3, and the blacks are hitting on a 4. For that many. Blacks are on a 3, whites are on a 5. He takes 2, but he can regenerate them. Oh, it's just enough! Just enough for that Hydra to go down. Over on this objective, those fire elementals are going to fight into those warriors. 12 attacks, hitting on a 4 with the Furious. 6 hits, but with the Furious, puts it to 8. Save it on a 5. 5 of them go down. 5 attacks back on a 4. I got 4 hits. Save another 4. Save 3 with the elemental 6 up. Nope, fail. Morale test for the Dark Elves, they are good. Takes out 5 of those. 1 wound takes him out. Those warriors are now going to cross charge into the Fire Lizard. 5 attacks on a 6. They got 1. Save on a 3. Hey, saves. 3 attacks. 3 hits. Save it on a 6. 2 more go down. Morale test. And they run away. Stay off my Fuego Lizard. So with that in mind, the Fire Lizard is going to fire at those shooters right there. So let's see how the reliable weapons are today. Hey, 2 hits. Saving on a 5. He kills 4. Morale test. And they're going to fail. There goes 4. And pinned. Moving the shooters there, and then who you go shoot at?
The Fuego de Papa.
He's going to fire at that Fire Lizard? We've lost our minds. 20 shots on a 4 with the Rendon. So I think they're pissed. That's a lot of hits. Okay, 3 of them are Rending. See that +1, that -1 to hit, you would have been screwed there. So on a 6, fail all 3. The rest on a 3, failed enough. Pop. So here in the middle, we're going to use this Greater Elemental to charge into these guys over here. Maybe, just maybe, he can kill 3 of them. 6 attacks. 1 hit. He killed 1. Yay. 2 attacks back. Whiff. Morale test. They're going to pass. Such a great showing out of my Greater Fire Elementals today. So we're going to do this one over here, and we're going to see if he dies. 9 attacks. 3 hits. Oh, 4 hits. I can't count. Saving on a 3. Failed 2. Come on, boxcars. Nope. He dead. Boom. The last activation, this squad that's already fatigued, they are going to come over here and charge into these guys. We're going to be able to get 3 in there. So we got the leader and 2 of those guys in there hitting on a 6. So we're going to have 4 hits with the leader and 1 with the guard. Saving on a 5 and a 6. There they go. Yeah, it's about time those warriors came out of there. Bah! So he's going to unpin that squad up there, and then the Hydra is going to go back and attack those guys. 10 attacks on a 4. So we got 1, 2, 3 hits, and that 6 makes a Furious. Saving on a 5. So he passes 2 with the elemental save. Nope. So I still got 3 left, attacking back on a 6. 1 hit. It's rending, so saving on a 6. It saves. Morale test for the elementals. They're gonna fail. That was enough to knock us below half. Boo! So that's the end of turn number 3. The volcanic dwarf numbers keep dropping, and the dark elves are spread out across the board. Let's see what happens on turn number 4. So my fire lizard is going to move a 6 to put his nose on the objective and fire its flame breath into the Hydra. 2 shots, reliable. We got 2 hits. Saving on a 3. Oh, it takes 2, but I can regenerate them. But it doesn't. Morale test because it knocked it below half. That's good. Fire! Yeah, fire. Yeah. Down to 5. So that shooter squad over there is going to fire at the elemental. Mm-hmm. All right. 20 shots on a 4. So there's 6 hits. One of those is rending. Rending on a 6. Fail. The rest on a 3. Fail 2 more. And then the elemental 6-up save. Nope. So those 3 was all it had. Skadoosh. The squad of berserkers there are just going to move on to the objective here. Those guys are going to fall down the cliff, down to there, and then shoot at the guards. 14 shots on a 4. For detonating. 1 on a 6. And the rest on a 5. Lose 3. Morale test. Pass. Knocking them all down to the leader, who is then just going to charge in there. 4 attacks on a 4. 1 hit. They're going to fail. 6 attacks on a 4. 4 hits. He's going to take 2. Morale test. He passes. Putting him at 1, and 1 of the shooters gone. Leaving us with, ta-da, Hydra. 10 attacks on a 4. With that 1 Furious, ended up being 5 hits, saving on 4. Nope. And that will be it for the Fuego Lizard. So that is the end of the game. And with a final score of 2-0, the Dark Elves have pulled it off. Now, this game does not discount the Volcanic Dwarves. The 60 rending shots from the Dark Elf shooters are what made the biggest difference, able to reach out and touch and knock down the Magma Dragon on turn number 2, and then able to pepper all of the elementals and larger beasts. We did get to see a Hydra go all the way to +7 attacks, so that was rather interesting. For the Volcanic Dwarves, I think they were a pretty fun painting project and a pretty interesting army. As time goes on, I hope one-page rules gives the army another once-over to look at some options, give them a little bit more variety, and elevate them to a real force to be reckoned with. But that'll do it for us today out here in the garage. I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. And there's the train. It's going to leave it rolling to catch the train in all of its glory. Boop, boop.
Oh, man.
Oh, he's laying on it, too.
Best ongoing joke ever.